What's up, y'all? Man, it has been truly a minute since I done this the last time. But I definitely got some amazing guests that are looking forward to jumping back on. You see it. You see it. Talk that barber shit. And to be honest, it's not just a platform for barbers. It's everybody that's in the beauty industry. I have makeup artists. I have hair artists. I have anybody that loves our beauty industry, works in our beauty industry, and just wants to come on and share their journey, their experience, their growth. This is a platform for you. I'm just a barber. I love to talk shit in a positive way, nothing negative. I like to see people grow. I like to see people prosper. I like to hear about the journey because, like all of us, we all have a journey. We all have something that we experience in our life that compels us to take it to the next level. And sometimes it's hard to even share what we're going through to other people that don't really understand it, don't really know how to give back feedback. So when we sit with our sisters and our brothers that's in this industry and tell them what we're going through, maybe the ideas or just changing moments that they understand and they hear us and they can give us the feedback that we're looking for. So to be honored to have Jimmy Fades step on my platform and share his journey and share everything that he has accomplished, grown from, and grasped is truly something beautiful. And I'm glad that he took his time to be on my channel and share that with me. So no more of me. You know, I'm gonna be through here and I'm gonna be asking questions, but I know everybody's looking forward to hearing from Jimmy. So let's get to it. Hey Jimmy, I'm gonna send you the invite and let's get to it. What's up, Jack of Fades? Man, I can't wait to get you back on here and we chop it up some more. So I'm looking forward to it. Just let me know and we're gonna figure it out. You should be ready to go, sir. There he is. The
What's,
man, the myth, the legend.
hey, what's going
Jimmy
on?
Fades.
Man, it's an honor, brother.
Man, more of an honor for me than you.
Hey,
Hey, I
man,
just want to
it's
say
up.
this is truly dope. I got a chance to chop it up with you at a small spectrum because I know you had to do what you had to do in the moment when we first spoke to each other. But to now have you here and then I can really pick your brain on everything
Yeah,
is really an honor. So I'm gonna get to it, man. Do you need a breather? Do you need to get something to drink?
I
I
was
want to make
good.
it as comfortable as it can be for you.
Hey,
All
I,
right.
I'm gonna see. I'm a what you see is what you get kind of guy, brother. So we're good to
All
go.
right. So I know everybody wants to start off with the podcast. Let's talk about the journey. Let's talk about what made you decide to be a barber. I want to go
Yeah,
way past that. I want to talk about who is Jimmy Fades today.
Jimmy Fades today is a much different person than he was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much. Jimmy Fades today is a much more. I understand life in a much different perspective today than I did a few years ago. I'm a much more. I like to have more meaningful conversations today than I used to. Like I don't take life for granted anymore. You
Yeah.
know, Jimmy Face today. I'm a much more caring individual. Much Jimmy Face today is much different person. I should say, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been through a lot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? physically, emotionally, spiritually. So we're gonna get into a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
I like that.
we
And
got a lot to talk.
the reason I wanted to ask you that is because we all go through journeys in our life. Some may be a little bit more impactful than others, but it's like, how do you grasp that moment? How do you fight against the narrative of maybe I can't come back from this? Maybe I won't be the same person that I was 2 to 3 or 5 years ago.
Yeah,
And to see your journey and see the person that you're still being today, the smile that you carry on your face, the way that you light up the room, that's what I want to talk about. And that's what I want to share when I have these conversations with people. Like, barbering is an art form and we're able to create beautiful things, but it's how do you share that beautiful thing with everybody else to understand that? So
absolutely.
how do you share your gift with everybody that steps in your room, steps in your presence?
Um, I mean, I think it's kind of the elephant in the room. It's like I am paralyzed and I am in pain while I'm cutting hair, and I still manage to pull myself up in this contraption and cut hair. So I think that I have this persona to show each and every individual that steps into the room, that sits in my chair, that no matter who you are and what you're going through, you can do whatever the hell you put your mind through. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Whatever you want to do, if it's meaningful enough to you and you care about it enough, you can do it. Because barbering meant enough to me. Um, I've had doctors and therapists tell me, like that I might have to think about a new career, but I told them no, and I told them that I still wanted to cut hair, and I figured out a way to make it happen, and my family figured out a way to make it happen for me. And so I think that each and every person that sits in my chair, I think that they can take something away from what they see as an elephant in the room. That whatever they put their mind to, they can still make it happen if it means enough to them.
yeah. And I mean this in a positive way. You're the biggest elephant in the room
I
because I'm
appreciate
like
that.
you stumping it in the room that in a different form, different format that somebody's like, fuck, like he can really do this. Like I'm questioning my life and I'm questioning my journey every day, but the way he walks in here and move in here, like I really got to pay attention to that. I really got to say for myself, like if I really want this or anything in my life, why I can't be like Jimmy Fates? Why I can't step in that realm and say I'm not gonna let anything prevent me from being who I know I am. Yeah, I might look different from you. I might not be able to do how you do it, but the way I do it is still impactful and it's still making people see me. Maybe more further than they seeing you now. Maybe the way that
Absolutely.
you were moving before this situation to be in this situation now, it's like, hey, I'm killing it. I'm here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like what is your successful what is your success factor now?
What
How
do you
do
mean?
you like what is success to you now? Like when before
Man,
all this happened and seeing where you at now, like what was your success factor then, like what I wanted, and what is your success factor now?
man, and to be honest, my success factor to me now is really I just want really just peace in life and just happiness. Because like I've been in the mindsets in life as I wasn't happy and I was in dark places, you know what I mean? And I've had to drag myself out of those dark places, because whenever you have everything in life, where financially you're successful, physically you're successful, emotionally you're successful, like you have everything you want in life, and then it's gone, you have nothing anymore, and you don't even have the ability to walk. you can't do the things you love to do anymore. Like I can't go to the gym anymore. I can't go snowboarding anymore. I can't dance anymore. I can't do the things I used to love. Whenever that happens to you, it takes you to a really dark place. And so I've had many nights in my room where I've cried. I've just been in these really dark places, and I've had to take myself out of those places. And so now that I've seen what it's like to be there, and now that I've seen what it's like to not be there as well anymore, I think success to me is to just peace, happiness, and to have a healthy family and success. Um, I really want to. I really want to take care of my family because they've taken care of me in ways that nobody could ever imagine. So if I could just give back to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they've taken care of me in ways that nobody could ever imagine. So I just want to be able to take care of them, you know what I mean, now. So just peace, happiness, and to be able to take care of my family now.
I come across, um, I've been in the barber game roughly 4 years now, and from what I knew what the barbering world was and what it is today, um, with social media, the platforms that we have, it generates a different outcome and a different look, and it really way to understand more of who they dealing with as the barber per se. People didn't really understand the system of the barber, and they was just like, "Oh, you just cut hair." Now you have faces like yourself and other people that are almost like you could say like almost like the Michael Jordans of the league and stuff like that. So it's like
Yeah.
now now people are coming in this industry and respecting the industry a lot more. But we still have moments where it can be, tainted or watered down. What is it that for you seeing and the transitions you had to make, what is it that still makes you happy about being in this industry?
You
And
know,
yeah.
so so I think as I'm still thinking about your last question and going into this question, I was just kind of having a conversation about this last night actually. And kind of whenever take away my career out, to take away my career out of the equation, and to just put into the equation whatever life is all said and done.
Hmm.
And whenever whenever everything is all said and done, and to look back on my life and say, what did I achieve? I think that the most important thing is, how many lives did I touch and how did I touch those lives? Because whenever everything is all said and done, the only thing anybody's ever going to say about you is like what kind of a person you were. So like I want to touch as many lives as possible, you know what I mean? I want to, whenever I go on stages, I want to give the best word that I can.
Hmm.
I want to touch people's souls. I want to give them a word that whenever I leave that stage, they're like, "Damn, like what he said like really resonated with me."
Yeah.
I want them to get chills whenever I leave that stage, because I want them to take home something that I said that day to change their life. You know what I mean? Because there's so much negative in this world right now, and we need more positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to come together.
Definitely. Um, how do we do that? I think my main motivation of creating this platform, like this all started during COVID. Like I was trying to find ways to like connect with my peers that was in school. We didn't know what was going on. We didn't have no idea if we was going to be able to go back to school and continue our session so we can get our paperwork. So this was like that was what this all started from. But then I wanted to unify it more and understand the individuals that are in this space. and what they might be going through right now. Even the people that had barber shops or that were major influencers. I had a lot of some of the major influencers on my platform during that COVID time, and I always noticed that from my point of view, to be straightforward and be candid, um, I don't really see a lot of people that look like me building a lot of connections in this industry. I see it from the Latin side. I see it from the Caucasian side. I do. I see that like the motivation, the connection, the growth, the standard is a little bit. It's building for them, but I always feel like in some ways that we're kind of like still competing for that number one spot. Um, how do we tend to open up
What
the
do you feel
possibility?
like? What do you feel like the reason of that is? Like how? What? Like what? So go deeper into that. Like why do you feel like? Why do you feel that way?
Why do I feel that way? Because I seen it firsthand. Like me, even with like working at shops, it
Mm-hmm.
was just the yeah, like the vibe, the communication, like the you ain't better than me, or you don't have the freshest clippers, or my clientele is this type of clientele, and you know you
So you
have
feel
that
like
type of
you feel like it's within the community itself?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I do. I do feel like the community is like I'm all for me type situation first. Like they want people to shop, but it's like we're supposed to be working as a unit and as a team. But then it's like the head person in charge and everybody else like the little minions.
Yeah.
And then it's like okay, if you're not following my structure of how I want you to move in my settings, then we can't operate together. But it's supposed to be like I'm bouncing ideas from you, or you bouncing ideas from me, or you help me to a certain standard. Like, hey, either I'm gonna open up another shop and I want you to run it, or I'm gonna show you how to open up your own operation, and then we can continue like that. And then when I open up my shop, I'm like, hey, I went to such and such. He gave me the format. Like I don't really hear a lot of that in our industry like that. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you came across that where you had someone that gave you like the best mentorship and
Right.
yeah,
Um. I mean, I feel like you're only one person, so like you can only do you can only start with yourself. You know what I mean? You can only you can only do so like you can only do so much is just start with yourself and just try to start that building block. How do I say that? I don't you know like I'm only one person, so I can only spread the word, spread my word myself. You know what I mean? Like you're only one person. You can only start that building block around yourself. Like I don't know how to explain
yeah. So for
what I
you,
mean.
for you, when you came into the industry, did you work at multiple shops? Did you work at a particular shop?
Yeah, I've only worked in one shop before I started doing my own barber suite.
And then what in that premise or what in that layer, when did you decide, okay, I love being at the shop. It gave me everything that I needed, but now it's time for me to be my own person now and be in the suite.
So that situation actually didn't happen till after I got injured. Um, and some things happened. So the barbershop owner, he was really cool in the beginning of my injury, and he would be kind of more of like a friend, and he would come visit me in the hospital, bring me food, and just be there for me and stuff like that. Just be more of a friend.
Mhm.
And then after time passed, um, he kind of became more of just business and just a shop owner
Correct.
and
Correct.
impatient.
Yep. Yep.
And um, it came to a point where it was still less. I was less than a year into my injury, and I wasn't ready to be back to cutting yet. And he was starting to press me about coming back to the shop more. And whenever my standing frame got built and ready to go, my parents had brought it down to the shop. We set the station up to how I needed it to work best, basically how you see in my videos.
Yeah.
And basically the next day after we set it up, I got this long text message saying that how we set the standing frame up in the shop, he didn't like how it looked. He was going to move it around to how he wanted it to look. That's not going to accommodate to
Hmm.
me. That's not going to work. And then
Yeah.
he wanted me to also sign a contract saying that I was going to have to pay X amount of dollars a week for booth rent and stuff. And at that point in time, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be able to be working full time and stuff like that. So I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to be able to pay my booth rent and stuff like that. So at that time, it was like, okay, well, like I'm just not going to be able to do this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's just going to be that time to break ties. So it was kind of like a shitty ending
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
leave a shop,
Hmm.
but it is what it is. So I left and I didn't know what to do. So my parents just helped me set up shop in where I live at. So
I'm
and
glad.
that was it.
I'm glad that you shared that story because we all have experience with somebody that we could feel like is very close to us, like very dear,
Yeah.
family, friends, outside relationships, whatever. What was the moment when you realized what you was experiencing took toll on other people, and then you realized that, hey, now it's time for me to understand I need to separate ties from these people because if the shoe was on the other side of the foot, my personality, my person who I am will still be here. It will still be genuine, still be love. But why are you changing on me when I never changed on you? What was that like for you?
I just felt like it was just very it felt very stressful. Like it was just a very stressful feeling in that time because I already had so much stress of all the emotions that I was going through, of all the changes in my body and all this, just all the stuff that I had going on that was new in my life and different in my life. And then the added stress of the shop and the shop owner of what it was going on. I didn't need that at that time. So I mean, that's whenever that got to that point of feeling like him saying that he wanted the standing frame be moved around to how he wanted it to look in the shop. That was kind of a punch in the stomach. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Because here I am now trying my best to come back to work, which you want me to do, but here you are now changing the way that I just found the best way for me to work, and now you're changing it. So it's like, what more do you want from me? So that's what that was like my breaking point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. Was just the buildup of stress over time. I was just couldn't do it.
What is I know I know you do a lot. I'm sorry. I know you do a lot of space. You do a lot of you have outlets now where you step on stage and you share um, the great moments, the bad moments, what to expect in this industry, what not to expect in this industry, who you need to be to accomplish and move forward in this industry. With all the information that you're delivering and stepping on stage now, because let me ask you this. I'm sorry. It still go with
Oh,
the
you're good.
question. Was you still doing a lot of your speaking moments like you do now, prior before the incident, or this came more
No,
after
this
the
didn't come
incident?
till afterwards. Before my incident, I was just in not where I was just working 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at the barber shop
Mm.
and going to the gym, and I was just like that was it.
Okay.
Like nobody knew who I was. I was just Jimmy Fades out in Columbus, Ohio, and
Yeah.
nobody knew who the hell I was. I was
Yeah.
just here.
So now having these opportunities in the way that it occurred, how do you feel about it? And how do you put yourself in that mode to be like, okay, when I step out here and speak to this crowd that's looking for wisdom from me and see my journey now, knowing my journey now, how is it? What is the conversation that you getting from like once you're done and you get off the stage? You're like, what is these conversations that make you feel like, yeah, through all this of what I had to go through, I'm glad that I'm here now and I'm doing what I'm doing.
The biggest eye opener for me and the most chilling moment for me is whenever somebody told me that they didn't feel like they had to take their own life anymore after hearing what I had to say.
Wow, wow,
Yeah.
yeah, that's enough said right there. Right,
Yeah.
wow, that's beautiful because life will throw you so many curveballs, will throw you so many like you think you have that moment where you about to hit a home run, and all of a sudden you just like, damn, I just struck out, and then it's like, how do you bounce from that? How do I get back to the plate, feeling confident and feeling like I can hit this ball over that fence again, and um, you to see and to hear. I got a chance to hear your see your videos, hear the conversations that you had with the audience and stuff, and it's remarkable. Um, what is it that right now, if you can share or you would like to share, what is this something that you're developing and that you're working on that you want to give heads up to a lot of people that are following your
Yeah.
platform or still supporting you and things like that.
So this past year, I only got to speak on the main stage in Las Vegas. That was my only like big stage that I spoke
Yeah,
on, the main
yeah.
stage.
I got a
So
chance to sit that.
I appreciate you being there, bro. That was crazy. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, being like backstage, I now see why people like throw up before they go out to like on a big stage. Bro, I was sick to my stomach. I was scared of shit. But going into this year's is kind of gonna be kind of a similar point to the message. Like I want to pour perspective, growth, perseverance, kind of all those things into people's lives. Those are like the main like key points out of what my messages are going to be: perseverance, perspective, and growth.
Nice. Um, the future of
But
barbering.
it's all gonna be based on the background of my story. So I wasn't going to tell my whole story of my injury because I just didn't really want to go into
Yeah,
that. But I didn't want to use that as a crutch. But at the same time, I feel like I kind of have to get my story out of the way because not enough people know the full story of why I'm in the chair.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I feel like I kind of had to get the elephant out of the room in the beginning.
Hmm.
So I'm going to use that as a crutch in the beginning of me like being new at speaking per se.
Hmm.
So I'm going to get that out of the way now. I'll use that as a crutch now for the rest of like the rest of the speech. It all makes sense. It all makes sense,
Yeah,
but
yeah. No, I get what you say.
yeah.
Eh, Yeah,
But it's
I
gonna get deep. I'll get deep into the story,
yeah,
and it'll all make sense.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I understand because I read your posts and I heard your stories and stuff, and I feel like you do have a great message because you can translate it in between the power of lifting and now power of standing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, yeah. So however you format that and layer it, it's gonna be impactful because yeah, you can transition that into so many different things. Like, you know, you was a workaholic in the
Yeah.
gym and then now yeah, so yeah, I get it, trust.
Hey, what did you think? Hey, what did you think of the moment? Do you remember the moment whenever I had everybody close their eyes and stand
Yeah,
up?
yeah,
Do you remember that
yeah,
part?
yeah.
I fucked with that. I ain't gonna lie, I fucked with that. Was that good?
See
Hey,
who
did
you
you
are.
like that?
Yeah. See who you are, close your eyes and see what it was about. I don't want to miss
No, you're good. That
yeah,
that
yeah,
part that part
yeah.
was because I had everybody close their eyes and stand up, and then I had because going into that I had everybody stand up, and then it was like realizing that everybody else in the room has like problems going on in their life.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We all do.
yeah. Because everybody stood up, bro. It's like if you have an issue going on in your
Yeah,
life, close your eyes and stand up.
yeah.
And
And
everybody in the fucking
everybody
room
stood
stood
up.
up. So we
Yeah,
all got issues going on, whether you see it or not see it.
yeah.
We all do. So don't stress
Hey,
about it.
I see my boy on there representing Jack of all fades.
Hey, that's my guy, bro. I love him, man. His energy is always good.
Always on point, never change. Every time I see him, he just always great energy, smiling. So yeah, I
He's
love that.
always
Yeah.
smiling, isn't he? I love him, man.
Yeah. Um, what do you feel about, or if you even thinking about it like that, how do you feel about the future of barbering? Do you?
I mean, the future of barbering, okay, it's one of the things where like we're never going out of style, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can't replace us. Nobody I don't think anybody will ever trust a robot to cut their hair for one.
Right.
Two, two, I mean, right now with social media, it might be a little oversaturated with like people who are just trying to be social media barbers are just trying to blow up or be like think it's cool to be a barber.
Hmm.
But I mean everything's gonna be a trend for a little bit, but that'll all go away. But I think the future of barbering is good because I mean we got people like Chris Bosio who are paving the way for future barbers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
definitely. Yeah, yeah.
I think his 6-figure barber course is phenomenal
Okay.
for young
Yeah,
barbers. I
yeah,
mean that course is phenomenal.
yeah,
So I think we got great tools out here for young barbers who are really serious about it. I mean, I think we got great tools out here for young future barbers.
yeah. Let me ask you this, 'cause I know I was that typical barber when I first got in
Uh
school. And
huh.
every time, even now, like it's like I'm. If I could show you my shoe game, you'd be like, "Man, you got too many shoes." But I felt like that when I got into barbering. Like I always had to have the freshest clipper. So, how do you feel about the clipper game? How do you feel about barbers always spending their money on new clippers that drop every minute? And how do you feel about just the industry per se, about, you know, using per se like people like yourself for likeness to get their like to boost more of their branding?
I mean, to be honest, at the end of the day, I mean, Clipper's a Clipper in my opinion. Like, pick it up, figure out how to use it. Like, some Clippers cut faster than others, but like
Mhm.
they're all the same essentially. So like,
Yeah.
you really don't need to go wasting your money on every single Clipper that drops. Really away.
Yeah, right.
Like,
Just a different colorway.
yeah, that's literally all it is, bro. It's literally either a Jordan 1 or a Jordan 4, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's all it is. Like it's crazy, but no, man. I mean, I don't know, bro. I'm interested to see what this new Babyliss X Tomb 45 is like.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's just me wanting to see what this new Clipper's about. But it's just a Clipper, just like any other Babyliss Clipper. It's just I don't know. You don't need to buy all this new shit, man. It's all the same.
Yeah. Um, let's go back to personal story, personal experience.
Yeah.
What what started you out in the first place to say, "Hey, I love cutting hair"?
Yeah. So I was in regular college. I was playing football back then, and I was just over school. I was just tired of studying. I was tired of taking classes that I had already taken in high school, and I just felt like I was just like burn out. Why am I taking classes that I've already taken and now I'm paying for them? It just didn't make
Right.
fucking sense, yo. I'm like, this is pointless.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what can I do with my life? And I'm like, why not try cutting hair? I've never cut hair a day in my life at this point.
Yeah.
And so I asked for Christmas that year. I asked my parents to give me some clippers because I wanted to try cutting hair. And they were kind of thrown off by the thought of it. They weren't too fond of it, I don't think.
Yeah.
But um, I just felt so strongly about it, so they bought me some clippers, and I cut my friend's hair in his basement, and it took me 3 hours, and it looked awful, but I had so much fun. It was so good. So from then on, I was like, I gotta try this, man. I gotta give it a chance. I was like, fuck it, we're dropping out. And I dropped out. And I tried it.
I love that. That's a cool story. Anyway, hey, I jacked it up, but I'm gonna keep going.
That's it. That's what I
um,
did, man. I dropped out, man. A couple months later, I was enrolled in barber school, bro. And
yeah,
I never looked back.
yeah,
I gave up my scholarship, and that was it.
man,
I
that's a
fell in love with it.
yeah,
And then COVID happened, bro. COVID happened.
right.
That's 2 months I was in the school. That shit was ass. I was devastated.
Man, me and you both.
No way.
Yeah,
So we've been cutting hair the same amount of
yeah,
time. Damn.
yeah, yeah.
We're both new to this shit. Damn.
Yeah,
That's what's
sure.
up.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. Like I worked in the corporate world for like 11 years. I always got, I always heard from like different people like, "Hey, you ever thought about cutting hair?" And I'd be
Mhm.
like, "Nah, I'm cool." And then it was like, "Man, you should try it. I see you cut your hair, you cut other people hair time to time. You should do it." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Nah, I'm all right." Then I got laid off. I was like, maybe I should try this barber
Yeah.
stuff.
Hell
And then
yeah.
as soon as I got into it, then COVID came. I was like, what the hell?
Of course, bro. Fucking of course.
I was like, I thought you was giving me a sign.
No,
Like this can't be the.
at that time, though, motherfuckers didn't care what their hair looked like, so you could cut anybody. Shit was not open.
Yeah, I was getting calls all over the place. Hey, come by here. I was like, I don't know, man. I gotta be masked up, gloved up. Like, like, I ain't trying to get sick.
Hey,
Shoot.
what was your go-to clipper in the beginning?
Man, I started off with the regular walls, and then after that, I
Magic
went,
clip, man.
yeah,
Man,
and then after that,
my original magic clips still be kicking to this day.
yeah, I got mine. Hold up.
No way. They still got the
Yeah,
writing
I feel
on
like
them
I want to
too.
frame these.
Damn. Put them motherfuckers in a box, bro. Put them in a clear box. Damn.
Yeah, this was the first purchase,
That's
and then after that, then I got these.
same. That's crazy. We got the same arsenal, bro. That's crazy. That
Yeah,
was my
went
second
straight to these.
clipper too. That's
Yeah.
wild. What I liked about the Babyless was that they had the click lever. So
Yeah,
it
yeah, we
kept
can
me
hear it.
more
Yeah, yeah,
disciplined in my cuts.
yeah, yep. That was the reason why I got these because somebody was telling me the same thing. Like you could hear where you each click, you know where you at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah, I still got both of my start off. These are my start offs.
What's your go-to now?
I still mess with Andes. I do the attachable clipper, and then I just still mess with Babyliss. I think I got every Babyliss.
I've never cut with a detachable in my life.
uh, Attachable are lifesavers. Yeah.
I've been given detachables for free, and I just don't understand them. I don't know if my
I had
brain
a,
just
I
doesn't
had
work
an
right, but I just
OG.
think,
Like
huh?
when I was at school, and then when I went to my first shop, and then when I transitioned to my barber that was cutting me as a kid, and I started working with him, he made it mandatory that I learn how to cut with attachables.
Ah,
Yeah, so he was like, "Hey, you gotta learn. You gotta buy every guard, clip them on, and you gotta learn." So, yeah.
that's what's up.
I mean, I know you're away from it, but I know you probably still get questions of people hitting you up in your DMs, especially probably like in your location. How do you feel about the schooling? What do you think per se that the students and the barbers need to take when they enter a school and stop just thinking about it just cutting hair, but it's more to it than just cutting hair? Like what would be the message that you would share?
For new students,
Yeah.
to really take it seriously. You know what I mean? Because I knew students whenever I was in school that because they really treat you like you're just like did you go to regular college at all by chance?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you know how like whenever you go to college, like it's up to you. You know
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
show
Like if you show up,
up
you
or
show
no
up. If you
show up.
don't, you don't. That's how it was where I went to school at, and like so it's like if you went to school, you went to school, and if you didn't, you didn't. And even if you went to school, if you wasn't cutting hair, that was on you. So
Mhm.
like my best advice to the students, whenever like where went to school at, is like if you're at school, you better be cutting some fucking hair because if you're not cutting hair, you're not going to be good.
Yeah,
Like you can't expect yourself to be good if you're not getting the reps in.
correct.
But outside of just the cutting hair part, um I mean it's really you gotta I learned a lot. I learned a lot of business savvy ideas from simply watching the way that my barber did business.
Mhm.
Like the way that my barber greeted me, the way that my barber gave me a handshake after the
Mhm.
haircut, the way that he did business as in transactions after the haircut, just the way he greeted people and talked to people. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's so much deeper than a haircut. It's the way that you
It
talk
is.
to people as well.
It is.
Because talking to people is way more important. That you can be a kind of a below average
Mhm.
barber and be booked up just because you know how to talk to people. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so you just so learn how to talk to people, greet people and things like that and you'll be pretty successful.
For me, what I'm seeing now, and I have to really do some more thorough reviews and checking. I'm starting to see in certain locations. I think like I saw one post where it was in Arizona where a statement was complaining about the barber industry and saying that we overcharging and what's the point of the barber state board where people can do hair from their house and all this other stuff like that. We really don't need to have these barbers or hair estheticians to be licensed because it doesn't really change the factor of who can do hair or whatever like that. How you this you can elaborate however you want to elaborate, but how do you feel about now? Like, it's so many people that are coming out now and trying to taint our industry, like really put a bad mark on the hair industry.
I mean, it's just like anything else. It's just the new era.
Hmm.
It's just like anything. I mean, there's the older era, like the early 2000s. It was $15, $20 cuts.
Yeah.
We're in 2025. This
Yeah.
it's a new era. We went through
Yeah.
COVID. Inflation is up. We're not trying to live. we're not trying to live like any average person. We're trying to, you know what I mean? We're trying to live. We're trying to we're trying to make a living. You know what I mean? We're not trying to live below our means.
Correct.
Like we're trying to be able to fucking buy eggs at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's simple.
Yeah.
Like, we have
Yeah.
to raise our prices.
Yeah.
Uh, rephrase your question for me so I can answer a little bit better.
No, like you, I mean, you're asking, you're right on the right path. But like I said, I'm just seeing a lot of not just regular, individuals. It's a lot of people coming out now, and it's also starting in the Congress room where people are like complaining about our industry, saying that we don't need to be licensed. We don't need to be
I
charging the
think
way
I
that. Yeah.
I think anybody needs to be licensed
Yeah. Yeah.
because I mean you don't want it's like you don't want just anybody coming at your neck with a straight razor. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? I wouldn't want fucking Jose up the street coming at my neck with a straight razor and I don't even know who he is. Like you know what I mean? Like I would hope he has a fucking certificate saying he knows how to do this.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
They they're even taking away, like in California, they took away some of the hours, so the hours are short now. You don't have to do any of the demonstration anymore. Like when I took my test, I had to demonstrate. I know before that, the older head said I had to bring a live person. I only had
yeah,
to bring a mannequin.
same.
So yeah. So now it's just they don't have to take the test at all. All they go in there, just jump on the computer, do the test, and that's it. And the hours are less. Being in school, and it's like, okay, what is going on? Like, why is this
Yeah,
occurring now?
like so. For example, in Ohio, we have to do 1,800 hours of school, which is like
Mhm.
we have one of the our Ohio is one of the states that has the most hours for barber school, and
Mhm.
that's like to be a police officer. I think
So
you only need
like
like
900.
yeah, bro. It's like
Yeah.
wait a minute, like this ain't adding up. So I think that it's a little excessive. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? I
Yeah.
don't think you need more hours to be a barber versus a police officer.
Right.
But I do think there needs to they need to reevaluate some things.
Yeah.
But I definitely think you still need to have a license to do these things. But I also think that when it comes to charging our prices, I don't think that I don't think that some of us are overcharging for our prices either. I think that like 50, $60 is still, okay for a haircut, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah. I mean, I do special days where I maybe for the kids I do a $10 or $15 cut for the kids Monday to Tuesday. I try to mix it up where I don't
I mean, it
like,
depends on
especially
where you
like
live. I mean, shit,
yeah, yeah,
you said you're in
yeah,
Cali.
yeah. I'm in
You said,
Inglewood.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what's like the average price out there?
I don't know because it's going up and down. So you have some shops that maybe charge like 30, 35, and you have some shops that charge 45, and you got some shops that do 55 to 60. So it
Well,
just depends.
prices are just higher in Cali. So like
Yeah.
if you're charging like $65 or $75, I mean I
Mhm,
feel like that's gonna be normal because like here in Ohio, prices of things are cheaper. So like it's like normal to charge like 45 to 55 to even
mhm,
maybe $60 for a haircut.
mhm.
So who am I to say?
Yeah.
I don't know who am I to say, but like I think it really just depends on where you live. But I think anywhere from 40 to maybe even $70, depending on where you live, for a haircut is the new norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. You.
I charge 40, and I get feedback from a lot of people saying that you're not charging enough.
You
Like
right.
for one the
Yeah.
demand that I have in my books because I'm booked out,
Yeah.
and two the work that I give, and three the position that I'm in working how I'm working.
Yeah. Yeah.
um a lot of factors that play into it, but and the prices of other barbers around me of what they charge, I'm on the lower end. But yeah, so
Yeah.
I think it's just a new era, bro. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Um, what is it? What is it that you like or you enjoy? I say what you enjoy more when you get the chance to be at these barber expos. What is it that you look forward to? Or
The engagement, the
yeah,
engagement with everybody, because so the first time, so CT Barber Expo this past year was my first barber expo I ever went to. Um,
I still got to make it
and I
to that
didn't.
one.
Oh, bro, it's so fun. I'm not gonna lie. This
Yeah,
past year, Las Vegas kind of had more energy.
yeah,
To be honest, Las
yeah,
Vegas was crazy,
yeah,
but um, it was like I guess I didn't realize like how well known I was in the industry, but I mean like the amount of people that was coming up to me asking me for conversations, for pictures, like for all this stuff, like I had never experienced that before.
yeah,
So I mean, I low key felt like a celebrity. It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. The attention was pretty cool.
yeah.
It
Hey,
was
that's so
fun.
man. Enjoy it.
But
Soak it in. Yeah,
yeah, it was. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
But I really do enjoy just the engagement that I get to have with all the so-called fans, or whatever you want to say. Yeah, I don't know. I get to take pictures and just have conversations with everybody, and just that's what I enjoy most. And seeing my friends, like my buddy Fraser, and all the other barbers, Chris Bosio, Marvy Marv, like everybody that I don't get to see very often. Like I get to see everybody. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like so, and all my other everybody else from level 3 that I don't get to see very often. Drastic, Allison, Jay, just everybody.
yeah,
Like everybody that I don't get to see very often. It's like a family reunion.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
So that's why I get. I enjoy all of it. Really, I take it all in, and like whenever I'm at these shows, it's like I have so much adrenaline and stuff going through my body, like all my pain and stuff just goes away for the day. So like it's so nice. I enjoy everything about it.
that's
Show
dope.
days are my favorite.
Yeah.
Show days are my favorite. So, like the winter time, I fucking hate the winter because there's no shows going on. So
Right.
whenever show days come around, I eat that shit up.
Oh man. Um, if you mind sharing, like, how is it being a spokesman for level 3? Like,
I'm not gonna lie, it can be nerve wracking
yeah,
because like just for the simple fact that throughout my barber career, just based off of my clientele personally alone, like my clientele isn't very prone to getting many different types of like hairstyles,
hmm,
and level 3 is a like more of a hairstyling company.
hmm,
So what can be intimidating about it is I have to now study more about hairstyling
hmm,
rather than getting to apply it more into my daily job. So
correct.
my clients now, they more so just get the textured top. They just want a messy top, go about their
Yeah.
day. They don't care. They just want some powder in the hair, go
Right.
about their day. So
Right.
now I'm trying to convince them, oh, hey, let me put this in your hair. Let me put this in your hair. Let me try this and this. Um, so that working with level 3 can sometimes be intimidating because I'm not always the most knowledgeable now, being young working with level 3
Hmm.
um versus everybody else around me that has been with level 3 for years. They know everything about their products, and they can
Yeah.
teach the crowd everything they need to know about their products. And
Yeah.
I'm still learning, and I went from I'm at the bottom of the totem pole, basically. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So now I have to climb my way up and just learn how to be a leader on the team. So that can
You
be
got
it can be intimidating, huh?
it. I said you got it.
No, I definitely got it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's very, I'm very grateful for it.
Yeah.
And what I'm really grateful is that they allow me to just be myself. So like the first time I went on stage for them, like I'm not the most professional person. The way I speak and like the
Yeah.
way I speak and stuff like that,
But
I'm just not
you
professional.
but you being genuine. That's
Exactly.
what
Like I'm just
yeah,
being me.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
straightforward.
yeah,
So the
yeah.
first time I went out on stage for them, I rolled out. I have all this energy. I have the mic in my hand. I'm like, this is fucking lit. Like, why am I saying this on stage for a fucking company, yo? Like, you know what I mean?
I
But they don't
I would have
care.
loved
They
that.
don't give a shit. They didn't care. Like they just let
Yeah,
me be me in the moment. Like I'm
yeah,
having my moment the first time, and they just
yeah,
allowed it.
yeah,
And that's what I appreciated the most is they just have always let me just be Jimmy. And really, it's because they just allowed me to be James and who I really
yeah,
am.
yeah.
Besides, outside of Jimmy Face, I'm
Yeah,
James. I'm James.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I'm not even fucking Jimmy. I'm who I really am. They allowed me
yeah.
to be who I am,
You know,
and that's what I
you,
appreciate the most.
you know what's funny? I was going to ask you, do you mind me calling you James, or do you just want me to call you Jimmy Face? I was going to ask you that because I wanted to be
Oh,
like, hey, I want to call James.
I don't really care, bro.
Like
To be
I
honest,
want to sound like we got a relationship. Like I know him by his first name.
you got it, bro. You whatever you want, man. Bosses are court.
Man, but yeah, man. I don't even know where to go with this. I mean, I feel like you tackled so much of the industry. You talk so much about who you are, what you faced, how you came from it, the love and the journey that you still have for this industry, for yourself every day that you get up and you continue to be who you be. Um, like I want you, I want you to share a message if you mind, like
Yeah,
something that something that always been on your mind that you like. Hey, next time I get the chance to be on stage, this is what I want to tell my audience. Can
yeah.
you tell them or you share that right now?
Let me get into this real quick. Let me go to my notes real quick.
All right.
Um, Something that I'm actually working on right now is I'm actually working on starting a podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
And the podcast is going to be
Hopefully
Truth
you
Be
be
Told.
interviewing me one day.
I will be. I was actually going to say that, bro. I'll bring you on. But the thing is my podcast, I want everything to be like in person. So like
Yeah.
I'll be flying you out, my
Oh,
brother.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, bro. We'll be taking you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's gonna be me.
I always wanted to go to Columbus. I've never been.
I I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It's not it ain't all that. It's not all that, bro. Here,
I mean, you could have hyped it up a little bit for me.
it, we got good
And
food.
then when I got there, I'm like, hey, man,
We
I was
got
just
really
playing.
good food. We got really good
Oh,
food.
I love to eat. Trust.
We got really good
Yeah.
food. But it's gonna be me and actually one of my clients. So actually I had the idea of the podcast already, and then one day one of my clients came in and he was talking about how he wanted to start a podcast, and I was like, damn, like this is like God throwing me a partner like in my hands right now, like because he's really good at conversation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's always every time he comes in, he's just a talker, and he doesn't.
All right.
He's one of the people he just doesn't stop talking. So I'm like, it's the perfect candidate. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, man, so I'm excited for that. Um, but um, something that I just want to pour into to everybody is I think that, man, truthfully, I mean from the heart, honestly, not even look at anything from the heart. Um, whatever you want to do in life, whatever you want to achieve in life, it's really the ball is in your court because I have had all odds stacked against me. I built my life I built my life up really good. I mean, my career was at an all-time high. I booked barber. I was in the best shape I've ever been in. I never had any. I had my own apartment. I had my vehicle. Like I had everything. You know what I mean? Like at a young age, I was only 21 years old, and I achieved a lot at a young age. And then everything got stripped from me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the blink of an eye, anything can change in the blink of an eye. And so you can never take life for granted because you never know what can happen to you. So anytime you get the chance to tell your loved ones that you love them, you should always tell them that you love them. You know what I mean? Because you never know when it could be your last chance.
Yeah.
And two, um, the ball's in your court. You can achieve anything you want in life if you really put your mind to it. Because, like I said, every day I wake up, I mean, there's days that I have to drag myself out of bed because I deal with a lot of pain. But I drag myself out of that bed and I get up and I stand up in that standing frame and I work those 5-6 hours a day. And although I don't work the same amount as an able-bodied person, I still take myself to work and I work as much as my body allows me to. So it don't matter. It don't matter what nobody else thinks of you. It don't matter what nobody else has to say about you. There's going to be people in this world that's going to try to tear you down. There's going to be times in your life when people try to take away what you've built, and there's going to be times in this life when people try to tear you down and talk down against you and talk down about the things that you've built in your life. But this is your life, and it don't matter what people have to say about you because you built everything yourself, and you can have anything you want in this life, and the world is yours, really. So do what you want because you only get one life. So make it the best that you can make it. You know what I mean?
I truly needed to hear that. I appreciate you sharing that. Um, I can't wait to share this on all my platforms that everybody can tune in because I know everybody was very much looking forward to me having you on, having you aboard, and chopping it up with you. James, this was a blessing on my behalf. I just want to say thank you for taking time out to sit with me on my little platform, but giving me the opportunity to chop it up with you.
Always,
I learned a lot today. I'm still growing myself. I'm still challenging myself. I'm still fighting my demons. I'm still doing what I got to do to be the better person each day that I wake up, and I'm blessed to open up my eyes. And from me hearing your statement, hearing your story, I just want to say thank you.
always. And one more thing, if you don't mind, I've been that person in life where I could be a little like judgmental against people, and I've been that person in life where like maybe I might I might not I might not accept somebody, or like I might be that person that just uh is just not maybe not friendly towards somebody or something. But really in life, you want to make as many friends as possible and never judge a book by its cover, because you never know down the road when you might need someone or when you might want to need to rely on somebody. Because I've had times now in life whenever um I've had to come together with people from past in the life, whenever even people in high school, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Whenever I've had to rely on people from even high school, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm 23 going on 24 now, so you never know who you're going to need in life. And so just always be kind to people and always be friendly to people, because in life you never know who you're going to need. And so just always make as many friends as possible and never be that person who is gonna not be friendly, or you know what I mean, just judging books by their cover and things like that.
Facts.
Yeah,
Yeah. True.
yeah, bro. Yeah,
All right, sir. I'm not gonna take any much more of your time. But this is not a one-time thing. Like, if you ever got something that you want to get off your chest,
yeah,
this is the platform for you. This is your platform. I'm just here to, share the
yeah,
message. But yeah, man. Like, if you got something that is in the woodworks and you want to share it, call me up and like, hey, I want to get back on that
yeah,
platform and talk my shit. So yeah,
for sure.
let's make it happen.
No, I appreciate you having me on though. Seriously, thank you for having me on. It's an honor.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you. No,
Absolutely.
we ain't gonna stop here. I'm gonna see you at some shows or whatever. And like you said, when you get your stuff going, let me know. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. I know. I'll have you on there for sure whenever it happens. And then whenever we're at the same show, me, you, Jack of all Fays, we'll all sit down and have some food together or something, man.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm definitely. I'm gonna try. Are you going to the CT this year? I'm gonna try to see if I
Yeah,
can
I'll be
make
at
it out
CT.
there. Okay, if I can make it to the CT, I'll definitely probably be at the Vegas one.
Okay, bet.
Okay,
I'll,
all right, man.
I'll be at CT. I'll be at Vegas. I'll be in Orlando. I just got invited to Austin. For do you know who Cherry is?
Um, I gotta look at the page.
Yeah, cool. Cherry's cool. But she just invited me to her show, so it'll be on my story.
Okay. Yeah, we gonna link
Yeah,
up. Watch.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
All right,
All right, man. Have a great one, man. Have a
all
great
right.
Sunday.
You too, bro. Have a blessed day.
You too, man.
All right.
Go.